What is up, guys? Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you to everybody in the chat already. Melina, Mr. Bungle, Simpy, and Amhajerma. And yeah, big up absolutely everybody in the chat. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Apologies for the few minutes delay there, but we are underway now. Remember, do smash the like button, do subscribe if you're new. And yeah, joining me for this review, as always, is Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm good, Dan. Just after work. So it's been kind of a busy day, but you know, Arsenal never failed to disappoint us. And what a way to start Monday. So, as always, before we delve into that, big up all you guys in the chat. But hope you're doing well, Daniel, and hope all the guys in the chat as well is doing well.
Yeah, it's just mad. It's mad that Arsenal just always upset us. Yeah,
as always.
Big up Omar, John as well joining. Yeah, big up everybody joining. But Arsenal just let us down as always, don't they? Don't they, Kevin?
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
be honest. It's just utter mad. But we're going to get into that. Guys, I just want to tell you about a couple of things before we do get going on this review. And the first one being is that I'm going to be doing a watch along for the Atletico Bayern Munich game tomorrow at 8 p.m. So going on air at 7:45. And then the preview for the game on Thursday is going to be this time at 1:30. So yeah, that's going to coming up, and then the watch along will be Thursday. I've not scheduled that in yet. I kind of got a little bit distracted with various things. And then obviously me and Simpy are going to be doing Chelsea Leeds on Saturday, and then we're going to be doing the North London Derby on Sunday. So that's what's coming up on this channel. And yeah, me and Kevin will be doing the preview for the North London Derby. I think, are you joining for the preview for the Europa game as well? Yeah. So me and Kevin will be doing. Yeah. So me and Kevin will be doing the preview for all of those. On for the Europa League game and for the North London Derby. The one for the North London Derby will probably be on Friday. So yeah, that's what's coming up. Remember, guys, do smash the like button. 14 people watching inside 3 minutes, which is fantastic. But anyway, Kevin, let's get into this review. So your initial thoughts.
What can I say more? Especially big up in particular to Anish, because from the lineup that I selected and Mikel Arteta's lineup, totally different. Let's get one thing straight. That was totally wrong for me. A few players that I didn't want them to start were starting. In particular, Bellerin, of course. Gosh, man. Where can I just start? We have been all asking that we have to go all out attack. The first goal is going to be crucial. Let's go gung-ho and let's go attack and get an early goal or something like that. But we just don't seem to be up to the mark every time. Every time we just like absorb pressure, and we just seem to be in the back foot most of the time. And when the situation arises that we must go and attack, oh my God, we just conceded a goal. Let's go all out attack. And then we leave ourselves exposed at the back. And both the goals actually were just simple errors, I presume. Especially the second goal, Bellerin turning his back. And most of our defenders, if you notice both the goals, the defense were not giving a challenge. They were keep on retreating right behind. And when it comes to a point whereby our opposition players take any shots or something, we are unable to defend. And that comes down to who? It comes down to the manager. It's the same old frailties from last season, from the season before, and we are seeing it this season. That's why I mentioned countless number of times, it's not in regards with it's the players. these players have failed to deliver in under three different managers. So whenever people keep hyping up Arteta as like the second coming of Wenger or something, I don't think so. He is not. He's not ruthless enough. He's not ruthless enough to make the wise decision. He's often punishing the younger players instead of the senior figures of the players, like I mentioned in the lineup prediction show that we did. I think it all comes down. It stems down to the managerial side, because that performance yesterday was an absolute disgrace. I'm thankful that I didn't watch the game. I just watched the damn highlights, and even that really made me sick. And I can imagine, because that game was happening at 3 a.m. when I'm leaving. I feel sorry for those people who stood up at 3, 4 a.m. and odd hours just watching that utter shit, because that was not a performance. That was totally ridiculous. That was unacceptable. Three defeats at home. And let's be honest here, all the opposition that we played and that 3 defeats, it's not against Manchester City, it's not against Liverpool, it's not against Manchester United, it's not against any of those teams. It's 3 teams that we are likely to beat under previous managers.
Yeah.
And we just lost against, and we only scored 1 goal. 1 goal out of that 3 games. We lost 1-0 against Leicester. Most people say like, oh, all right, the disallowed goal by Lacazette, and also when we were piling them with shots and all this. But how many times did we test the keeper? Where was that similar performance gone when we played against Aston Villa? It was not there. And when we played Aston Villa, then we said like, okay, Leeds United is the upcoming, it's a must-win game. And I remember Mikel Arteta come out and said that after the Leeds United game, before the Leeds United game or something, he said like, I wish there's another game coming up for the weekend instead of the international. It was before the international break. He mentioned that. Can you imagine if we had another game and we'll go getting another beating, you know? So I'm just lost out of words, man. I'm not even looking forward for the game at the weekend. Seriously.
I just want to big up 17 of you watching live inside 7 minutes. We will get to some of your comments, so don't think that we're ignoring them. I will get to some of them in due course. But I completely agree, Kevin. I completely agree with you. It's not good enough. And you know what, right? Yeah. I was, after the game, I was numb. I was, I was a little bit flat. I was sort of like, okay, this has happened. This is nothing unusual. But you know what? Like, the more I think about it, the more I watch this game and I analyze this game, and I do watch it. I watched it back as well, because I want, when you're doing a watch along, it's hard to grasp everything, because you're focusing on so many different variables, trying to keep the watch along going, trying to read the chat, so you don't really focus on it properly. But so I watched it back, the game last night, and I'll tell you something now, the more I think about it, the more it just makes me flaming angry. It makes me so angry, from the players not performing to the manager consistently getting things wrong all the fucking time. Kevin, it's every single fucking game. It's every single game. We just look flat. And you know what? I have to be honest, right? Yesterday, I wasn't really kind of contus mentis in terms of really processing it. But I have to say,
oh man, not again. Not the process.
No. Processing the defeat. So I wasn't really processing the defeat. But I have to say, Kevin, right, I'm going to be brutally honest. I woke up this morning and I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with Arteta. I am absolutely done with Arteta. He can't do anything right at the moment, and this is where I stop backing him. I'm sorry, it's done. And you know what? Any game now that he's in charge from this day onwards is the board's fault, because this can't keep happening. And a lot of people, right? Yeah, a lot of people are going to go, oh, but it's the players. They need to take responsibility. Yeah, I get that. I get that it's the players. I really do, right? But here's the thing. Here's the big kicker. Arteta's the one picking the team. Arteta's the one still consistently picking bad players. And I'm going to single out a few. Bellerin, what the fuck was he doing yesterday? Absolutely nothing. Granit Xhaka, the worst game he's had in an Arsenal shirt, and he's had some pretty bad, pathetic games. And then you look at Aubameyang. Aubameyang, I love the guy. I love him to pieces, but he looks so disinterested on the pitch. He looks so disinterested, and he's a world-class striker. He scores goals for fun, but he looks so disinterested. And I'm sorry, I've had enough of this bollocks. I've had enough of it. I've had enough, right, yeah, of this club from top to bottom. I've had enough of the fucking structure at the club. The structure stinks. I've had enough of people telling me to back this fucking process, when all that seems to be, right, yeah, is this process is that we just play these stupid, ridiculous, flat performances at home. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Arsenal fans telling me that, it's the players, it's this, it's that, making excuses for this manager. I'm sick of Arteta coming out in press conferences going, but we lost, it was fine margins. No, it weren't fine margins. We had 3 shots on target. I think it was 3 or 5 shots on target in this game for the whole game. That is unacceptable.
We had 5 attempts, and about 2 of it was on target, apparently.
And we're at home. We are fucking at home. We are at home. We should not be having this, Kevin. We should not be having this. We should be on the front foot, right? Yeah. We should be on the front foot. And do you know what? Do you know what really pissed me off as well? Arteta leaving David Luiz on. That clash of heads, right, yeah, was absolutely horrendous. Jimenez had a fractured skull, right, yeah, and you know, I really, you know, hope he gets better. I really do. But David Luiz should not have been on the pitch. There was blood pouring from the guy's face. He should not have been on the fucking pitch. He should have been took off. And then you hear Arteta in press conference after going, well, we left him on. He wanted to play on. Of course he wanted to play on. He's a professional footballer. But this is where, as a manager, as an experienced manager, which clearly Arteta is lacking, you need to pull that decision and say, I'm sorry, listen, your health's more important than a game of football. You don't take no chances with fucking head injuries. The guy's clueless. Arteta's clueless. And do you know what, right? Yeah, I am done. I'm done with it. I'm done with Arteta. I'm done with this mediocrity that we always seem to suffer. I'm done with the fact that we have to sit and take it. These players aren't hurting. You know what I mean? These players aren't hurting. The manager isn't hurting. He's going, but we had some chances. We had, you know, we could have done better. We're not clinical enough. The thing is, right, none of these players are you know, a lot of these players are not good enough. We know that. A lot of them aren't good enough. But I'll tell you something now. The manager's the one that keeps picking them. The manager is the one that keeps picking these players. You know, he's the one that keeps picking. He is the one that keeps picking them, Kevin. He's the one that keeps picking them. He is the guy that keeps consistently playing Bellerin, consistently playing Xhaka, when they're consistently playing badly week in, week out. And you know what? Like guys like Saliba, the guy's career is ruined because of Arteta. Arteta has ruined this kid's career before it's even got going. You know, if I was Balogun, if I was Saliba, I'll be sat there thinking, what the fuck do I have to do to get in this team? What the actual fuck do I have to do to get in this team? Because it seems to me that players who have a good game get dropped, and consistently shit players like Bellerin and Xhaka consistently just walk into this team as if it don't matter. And that's down to Arteta, I'm sorry. And all these fucking people right here that tell me, you got to back the process. You've got to, you've got to support your manager. You've got to give it time. No, I fucking ain't got to give it time. I've given it time. He's had, 9-10 games into the season, and we've had our worst start to a Premier League season. And do you know what? Right, do you know what? Yeah, Charles Watts summed it up brilliantly. Charles Watts summed it up brilliantly when he said, I think he put out a tweet yesterday going, "This is a throwback to the Emery days," because it is. The performances aren't getting any better; we're getting worse. That we're regressing, and I'm sorry, Arteta's not experienced enough. Arteta's clueless. He doesn't have a fucking clue on what he's doing. And do you know what? Right? Yeah, Arteta's a Spanish Arsene Wenger. He is. You can see it. You can see it. You can watch him. He's a Spanish Arsene fucking Wenger. And I tell you something now. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of this bollocks all time, every time, that we have to, as Arsenal fans, we have to sit there and fucking accept it. Well, I'll tell you something now. I ain't accepting it any longer. It ain't fucking good enough. It really isn't. It's disgusting. These players do not give a shit. The board don't give a shit. And do you know the really strange thing is?
Yeah.
I don't actually blame Arteta. I blame him for the poor decisions he's making, but I don't actually blame him. Because if I was in his shoes, right, yeah, I would have took that job. Anybody in their right mind, you were offered the Arsenal job, you're going to take it. You know, I blame the board. He should never have been put in that position. Now, don't get me wrong. I backed him. When he first come in, I've absolutely backed him like I do, like I back any manager that comes into the club, because I'm an Arsenal fan, and you get behind it. But when you're seeing the same shit year in, year out, when you're seeing the same shit play out, nothing's improving. What have we improved? Oh yeah, we signed Gabriel, we signed Partey, which is two players we've needed for years. Great, well, that's brilliant. But what else has improved? These players, these young players that are coming into Arsenal who have not been part of this shit regime and these shit mediocrity performances, players that are just joining are now starting to look really shit. Players are joining and they're starting to look really shit. You know, it's kind of like they've been here for years, and that's bad. You know, good player, decent young players are starting to look like that they're shit. You know, they're making mistakes. They're constantly screwing up. And I'm sorry, the buck stops with a manager. If we had an experienced manager, we wouldn't be in this state. Simple as. An experienced manager wouldn't drop these players. An experienced manager wouldn't drop players who are performing well and then bring in players who are performing crap. I'm sorry, Arteta's clueless. Arteta's clueless. And I've had enough.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Daniel. Almost everything whatever you mentioned was practically spot on. But what I'm trying to say here is, if Mikel Arteta, any new managers that comes in, the first and foremost thing they should do is like we all understood when he said that he wants to give every player a chance. But after you give them a chance, you must evaluate their performances. If their performances are shit consistently, drop them. And what I would have done is practically taken most of the players, the younger players, because they will have the heart, they will have the desire, they will tend to listen, and they will tend to take the manager's advice, because young players tend to get very less opportunities. And of course, when a manager put the trust into them, and when they're given a game time, they would give their all, even though it ends up in a defeat or it ends up in a draw, or maybe by luck they win the game. It motivates them, it gives them confidence. And I think that should be the way Mikel Arteta should have done. One thing, everybody keeps slating Unai Emery. Bear in mind, yesterday was exactly a year since he left Arsenal, and he left us at 8th position that season, and we were calling out for his head. And Mikel Arteta's brought us down to 14th position. One thing I gotta say about Unai Emery was he gave the chance for the youngsters, most of them. All the youngsters came through Unai Emery. It's been overlooked most of the time, but Unai Emery trusted his youngsters most of the time. And I think that's one of the key factors, which that's how the emergence of Saka, that's how the emergence of Martinelli and all these other Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, all these players, because I was seeing these players, Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, all these players were playing absolutely good football, because Unai Emery really used these players and they were playing very brilliantly. but not to the standard and level required. But they were playing at they were at least scoring goals. They were at least taking chances. They were not scared. But right now, all these players are clueless. They don't even know what they're doing. They're all like, they are confused. They don't know what the tactics are. They don't know whether they should defend or whether if they are playing in fear right now. They're playing in fear. I'm not sure whether the manager's instilling the fear so that you don't go all out attack before you expose our defensive side. I'm not really sure about that, but it's down to the manager. And the manager has practically regressed most of our youngsters. Our youngsters are regressing under him. And I don't really get that everybody keeps saying that creativity, creativity, creativity. Why is there creativity? Why should we question about creativity? The players are there. There are 11 players. Practically, Wolves had 11 players. Neves was not even playing. He was in the bench yesterday. That's their playmaker. Who else was their playmaker? They didn't have any other playmaker over there. Neto was there. Neto was pulling the strings. In our team, practically Saka was the only one doing it. But even he looked average yesterday. He looked below average yesterday. So don't come with the blocks of telling creativity. We need a box-to-box midfielder and all this. Thomas Partey was at Arsenal and he played about 3 games straight. And out of the 3, he ended up losing 2. 2 games he lost with Thomas Partey in the side. And you're telling me, and he's a box-to-box midfielder as well, playing as a defensive midfielder, playing as a central midfielder as well. So he can play in various positions around midfield. Of course, understandable. But the thing here is Mikel Arteta using the best of the players or not? Because how can a player like Lacazette, people keep calling out Lacazette, people keep calling out Aubameyang, people keep calling out all these players. Bear in mind, when Unai Emery came in, Lacazette was player of the season under Arsenal, voted by the fans, and Aubameyang won the Golden Boot. How can both the players be so poor this time around? And why, if you know that thing is not working, why can't you play 2 up front? Why can't you play 2 up front? Of course, one to hold up the ball, another one to run behind. That's all you need to do. It's just simple thing. It's just simple fact. But Mikel Arteta is not going to try. He's not going to try that. He keeps his trust and faith on Eddie, and Eddie comes and do fuck all. So I don't really get it. And do you think everybody keeps saying that we are missing Martinelli? Do you think he's practically going to start Martinelli? Do you think Martinelli will be given a run of games? He's practically going to tell him, "Oh no, you got to be playing under the under 23 first, and then we'll bring you slowly into the squad. We'll integrate you into the squad, and then when he scores a few goals, oh no, mate, you scored 2 goals. Okay, back you go in the bench." That's what. How do players consistently perform if every best performance they put, they end up being in the bench? Yesterday, Willian was probably our best attacking outlet. Okay, on an average night, Willian was our best attacking outlet. And what did Mikel Arteta do? He removed him. And Granit Xhaka was probably one of the worst players. And what? He was still on the pitch. And we needed a goal. We are chasing the game, and he brought Lacazette for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, how can you explain that? Which manager, even in the simple common sense, which manager would do such a thing? I just don't get it. Even the most sensible ones would probably know that we are chasing the game. At least bring the attackers in.
Yeah, I just want to big up everybody in the chat. The chat's moving mad. Big up Bertrand, Reben Korshad. Apologies if I completely butchered your name, but yeah, big up everybody. There's loads of you tuning in. So there's a few comments here. I think it was Anisha I saw said that give him time. What? Give him 10 transfer windows. And Jonathan Porter said that, you know, he agrees with my anger, but the anger's misplaced until we sort the real issues out. Do you know the problem is though, right? The problem is, and yes, I agree with you that a lot of these players need to be binned. But the problem is, right, yeah, 2 things. Firstly, we need to get an experienced manager to get us to a level where we can address all this crap. Because all while we're stuck down in the Europa League, we're not going to improve. We're not going to improve, right? And the second thing is, these players, and I saw your comment as well, Omar, saying that Aubameyang's not world class. He is. Come on, anybody that says he isn't is kidding themselves, right? Because, and the only reason I say that, he can score goals. He's got it in him. We've seen it. Anybody that says we haven't seen it is obviously not watching Aubameyang. The problem is he just looks disinterested, and that can't happen. And do you know what? Right? Yeah, this is probably one of the first times since he's played for Arsenal that he's looked disinterested. And I tell you what, right? Yeah, it's a throwback to when he had his last games at Dortmund. Do you remember that last game? I don't know whether you guys remember it, but the last game he played for Dortmund, he looked, he was just walking around the pitch, not looking
strolling,
and I saw that yesterday. The exact same thing, just strolling around the pitch. And again, right? Yeah, I know that Özil is not the answer, but when you lack creativity, why are you going to at least not have him in the squad, to have him on the bench, to bring him off, to give him the opportunity to come off the bench? That is just utter madness. I know he's not the answer, and I agree with you. He probably isn't the answer long term, but you should at least have him on the bench. When you keep banging on that you don't have no creativity in the team, you've got to at least use what you have. And if you don't want to use what you have, then go and spend the fucking money. Go and spend the fucking money. Don't bitch and moan that you have got no creativity, and yet you're not prepared to spend the money. Because do you know the sad thing is, right? Yeah. Do you know the sad thing is, I think this bored back Arteta so much that if Arteta said they wanted this player, he would get it. And that's the sad thing is. And Arteta obviously is, do you know what? He is a yes man. He is a yes man. And the thing that really frustrates me is that he's not coming out and being truthful. And for the first time since he's been Arsenal manager, I watched his press conference and I just thought, Spanish Arsene Wenger. Spanish Arsene Wenger. That's what I thought. I was sat there and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, do you know what? And the other thing that pissed me off as well, right? Yeah, what happened to Arteta's non-negotiables? What happened to those? What happened to if players aren't on board, then they're gonna get they're not welcome. I want everybody to be fully committed. Are you telling me, right? Yeah, that fucking team out there looks fully committed?
He isn't on board with the fans' philosophy, so he should get the fuck out. Mikel Arteta should get the fuck out.
Because the thing is, right, yeah, 3 games now, 3 or 4 games, and actually you could probably look at to the start of the season. Ever since the start of the season, he has just been coasting through games. And even though we had 4 wins, look at every game we won, apart from Fulham, which I don't count because, to be honest, even fucking Granny Norma could fucking beat Fulham. Do you know what I mean? She could probably beat Fulham on her own. Do you know what I mean? Or she'd have to walk on the pitch with her fishy fanny, and that would beat Fulham on its own. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't count Fulham. But you look at Sheffield. You look at West Ham. What was the other 4 games we won? What was the other game we won? Man United.
Man United.
There was another game. What was the other game? No,
Sheffield,
Fulham, West Ham, Sheffield, and United. So sorry, yeah, I've got all the games. You look at the Sheffield, West Ham, not really counting Man United. Okay, you probably could maybe throw that in. You look at the Sheffield and the West Ham games. We were absolutely shit in those games. Absolutely shocking. And I'm sorry, anybody that sticks up for this manager now is fucking deluded, seriously. Anybody that sticks up for this manager now is deluded. And do you know what? I feel mugged off. I'm going to be brutally honest. I feel proper mugged off because I was making excuses for this manager. And saying that he needs to, we've got to give him a little bit more time. And I wanted to see how things played out. And, I was happy after we won the FA Cup. I was happy because we had, under the circumstances, on the balance of the fact that we had such a shit season, I thought to come in and win a trophy was probably, you couldn't really have done more in the circumstances that you were put in. But this is a new season. We're now 9 games into the season and nothing's changing. We're still the same old crap. And everybody says that, you know, it's because of the players and all this. And I get that. But new players have come in. This squad, right, yeah, I don't care what anybody says. This squad, you put an experienced manager in charge, we would not be where we are. You put an experienced manager in charge, we would be top 6, top 5 at best, which is probably about our level, top 6, top 5, with an experienced manager. But because Arteta's not experienced enough, you can see that even the lack of experience showed. Leaving David Luiz on the pitch, do you know what I mean? He had more blood on his face. He had more blood on his face than what was on a used tampon. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. And yet Arteta left him on the pitch.
Where was the man management then? Where was the man management? That comes down to man management. Seriously, Daniel, I got no comments with this, man. And
Kevin Campbell, I saw a comment. Kevin Campbell said, give Arteta 3 years. No, we can't afford to give Arteta 3 years.
Probably be relegated by then. We can't really sustain this, Daniel. And his man management is really poor, like you mentioned in a few points ago. His man management is really poor. Has any other players improved under Mikel Arteta? And not even one player has improved under Arteta. We all saw what Tierney brings to the club. He was drifting in, putting in cross left, right, and center. Every time he puts in a brilliant cross. When was the last time you saw Tierney putting in a cross? When was the last time any of the offensive players attacking a Tierney's cross? There's not even any player that's attacking. There's no one attacking. Tierney is doing stupid errors right now. And who is that down to? Players don't become crazy or like literally like they can't even know how to pass and kick a ball or something. They don't do that overnight or something. It's all down to the manager. The manager is controlling them, literally telling them, I want this to be perfect. I want this to be like this and this to be like that. The players are confused. You're not even letting them being so expressive. The players aren't able to do what they are doing best. All the balls that they want to give cross. And at one point yesterday, I saw a cross. Practically, there was only Aubameyang in the box. Where are all our midfield runners? Why isn't there anyone inside the box at taking the ball? There's only one guy against about 3 defenders inside there. I mean, what's the point you're putting in a cross to get to greet up by Wolves defenders or what? And Wolves, Adama Traore, seriously, mate, that fellow was running through 5 defenders. 5 players of ours, they're literally running through an entire squad. And everybody that keeps saying that Ceballos, I think one of the challenges here, I think he should have got a penalty or something. Everybody keep bragging about that. How about the challenge against against Traore as well? That's a penalty. That's a penalty. If everybody keep bragging on if that's a penalty or not, that's a penalty. Adama Traore, when he went down in the box, that's a penalty, and he got booked for that. I don't think so. That's a booking. That's a penalty. He got the ball and he got his foot as well. So that is a penalty. And that there's no excuses. Enough of defending Arteta. All these guys that defend Arteta, enough of it. We have seen enough. Practically, I've been very critical of him ever since he got the damn job, because I knew that he wasn't good enough. Because he's not like a world beater of a player that comes in and manages a football club. He's not that type of a player. He's an average footballer. And the only notable contribution, he's an average player. And so he's an average manager, and he's making everyone to play the Arteta style of ball, instead of like everybody keeps saying like he'll bring Pep football into the club. No, it's not Pep football. It's all Arteta football. And Arteta was a bang average football player, and that's a bang average football we're seeing now.
And I've seen it in the comments, right? Yeah, people saying that the fan base is not coming together. But do you know the one thing, right? Everybody who said Arteta out right from the start is being proven right. And I'll tell you what, I do feel so mugged off, right? Because I did back him, and it was listen, I support any manager that comes in, whether because to be quite honest with you, we need we're Arsenal Football Club. You've got to back any manager that comes in, but I have to say, I'm not seeing anything different. And this is the thing, right? We weren't this bad under Emery, Okay, yeah, towards the end we were. You could see that towards the end we were, and but like I say, we finished 5th with Emery with a much worse squad than what we've got now. Big up 21 people. Big up 21 people watching live. Do smash the like button if you've not done so already. We'll get some comments very shortly, so don't worry. I'm dipping in and out of the chat, so don't think we are ignoring you. It's just the comments are moving mad as well. But see, I'm not confident for Spurs as well, Kevin. Are you confident for Spurs? Because I'll tell you something now. Let me tell you something, right? Yeah. You know how I see the Spurs game going? This is how I see the Spurs game going. We are going to get absolutely fully our pants pulled down against Tottenham. We're gonna get humiliated. Yeah. Do you remember? And this is how confident I am that we're going to get beat, right? And I know everybody says, "Oh, form goes out the window at a North London derby." Form goes out the window, and anything can happen in a North London derby. Anything is possible, and I get that. But do you know how unconfident I am? Do you remember the 8-2 at Old Trafford when we got battered by Man United?
Yeah,
that's what I think. That I can see a similar thing happening at Tottenham. I can see a similar thing happening at Tottenham. We're going to get fully exposed. All our weaknesses are going to expose like a nude person on a nudist beach. I can tell you that's what's going to happen. And Kane and Son, they're going to have an absolute flaming field day against us. They are going to be going onto that pitch going, Jesus Christ, we could get 4 or 5 here, lads. Let's go and do it. Because I tell you what, these players are a bunch of absolute bottle jobs. Absolute bottle jobs. And do you know what? They're led by an inexperienced man. And I've got nothing against Arteta. He talks a good game. But unfortunately he walks like a paraplegic, and the two things don't mix. I'm sorry. It's just simple as the two things don't mix. And it's just unacceptable now. I'm sorry. Arteta, I think your race is run. And I think that you need to pass it on to somebody experienced. And the board need to seriously pull the plug. If the board are serious, which I very much doubt it, if the board are serious about getting top 4 and about maybe getting into the Champions League via the Europa League, and I'll tell you something as well, right? Yeah, the Europa League, when we come up against an opposition of any note, we're going to come unstuck. I'll tell you something now. We're only getting away with it because we're playing piss poor oppositions. We are going to come out if we play. Say if Real Madrid? They were going to. I think some big teams can drop down from the Champions League, can't they? So there's going to be some heavy hitters dropping down. And if we get matched against some of them, we're going to get absolutely battered. It's just a shambles. It's an utter shambles. And I'm finding it very hard to be fucking positive at the moment. I am. There's nothing to be positive about. There really isn't. The only positive thing is that the games are 90 minutes. And then after 90 minutes, and do you know what, right? Yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. If it wasn't for this channel and it wasn't for the watch-alongs and you guys keeping the watch-alongs so fun, I'd find it very hard to watch Arsenal right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm just being brutally honest. I find it very, very hard. And it's sad because I love the club. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely do. Yeah. Arsenal is the club. But I'm just finding it so hard at the moment to find any positives. And it's very, very hard to come in.
Daniel, but you have to notice another thing as well, Daniel. Even as much as Arteta keeps saying like Edu is vital in transfers and all this, did you notice once Mikel Arteta wanted Houssem Aouar and Edu wanted to give him Thomas Partey? I think there was two different players that they need. And of course, we needed both of them. But at the
Yeah.
same time, from there itself, you can see the one that's buying the players and the ones that's looking into these players, they're looking at two different players and they get served up with another different player. So one wants Hosam Awa, another one wants Thomas Partey. There's no unity, there's no understanding between there itself. So how do you think the team is going to respond? It all boils up from the top as well, because even the top people at the board, even they don't even know what they're doing. One person, how can, because Liverpool, if they want a player, practically everyone comes into terms. They would like, okay, we want to go for Jota. Okay, you're okay with Jota. Okay, let's all go for Jota. That's what they do. But at Arsenal, it's like, oh, you want Thomas Partey? No, I want Samawa. No, I feel Thomas Partey is better. So let's go for Thomas Partey. And I'll buy, you develop him. This was exactly what was going on with Unai Emery as well. Unai Emery wanted so many players. He wanted Maguire, he wanted Zaha and all these type of players. He wanted Fabinho as well. He wanted Thomas Partey as well. But he got served up with Torreira and all these guys. And when he got served up with these players, and what the people above told him is, you improve, you help develop them better. So how this guy is inexperienced? How is he going to develop? How is he going to develop any of these players? Has any of the players developed and has any of the players progressed under him, under Mikel Arteta? No one. So they are putting an experienced manager's job into this guy, and this guy literally doesn't know what he's doing, and hence why he's trusting the old guard more, because practically the old guard are the ones that stayed long at the club, so they know what they're doing and stuff like this. But at the end of the day, you have to be ruthless. You have to put your foot to the ground and tell them, this is what I want, this is what I want. This guy doesn't even come out calling any of the players and single them out and telling okay, you're playing shit, you're doing this, you're dropped the next game. He's not even doing that. He's, as long you play shit, I don't know whatever performance you put in, you're going to play next week. So the players, they know, even for a fact, they play shit yesterday, they know they will be playing against in the North London derby. They know they'll be playing against Burnley after that. They know they'll be playing in all these games. They know their positions is guaranteed. That's why they are not improving. That's why they are not even taking the initiative to even improve themselves. Because at the same time, if you were to use a youngster, probably any other players, they would give. And this is why I think the current squad, with all the midfield frailties, this is why I regret losing Matteo Guendouzi. I think Guendouzi would be a proper midfielder at our squad. But I think with Arteta around, I don't think so. That's why he got rid of him. But the more Arteta is taking over the games nowadays with all the defeats and draws and stuff like this, I'm started to regret, why did we get Unai Emery? Why did we get rid of Unai Emery way too early? It was totally harsh. It was, in my opinion, it was totally harsh. Yes, it was time to go for him maybe after the Crystal Palace game. Of course, he did a few blunders as well, but we can namely tell which blunders it is. He never had a person to translate whatever we are saying in English, because his English was piss poor. And of course, he captained Granit Xhaka. He had that 5 captain rule and shit like this.
Sorry,
that's the thing.
I've just seen somebody with if I've read your name right, that's hilarious. The person who said Spurs are going to pump Arsenal, Kevin, just read that. Yeah. We will. We'll get battered. Anish says we're going to revive Gareth Bale his career next week. Yeah.
Oh, I just saw the comment.
So, guys, if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope, do smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. But I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just struggling to find out where we go from here. Big up Colonel Ward. Said stop blaming Arteta for player failings. And I'm not saying the players are not responsible. They are. But here's the thing, and I've said it before, Arteta's the one picking them. And if take Granit Xhaka and Hector Bellerin. They've played poorly for the last 3 or 4 games, but yet they're still a starter. And who picks the starting lineup? Arteta. So you can't get away from that fact. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't get away from that fact. You know, you just can't.
I'm fearing for the worst, Daniel. I'm fearing that first and foremost, we all know I predicted Arsenal to finish 8th place this season, 8th or 9th by and recently looking at the results and everything, we are what? Practically only Fulham scored less goals than us. That's it. Fulham. And the thing is, right now, I'm scared that we will go beyond 10th. It probably around 11th and 12th. I'm not really sure. Because we are so poor. We are so poor. And with Thomas Partey now out until January, God forbid, man, I don't know how long are we going to sustain with this. Who are we going to put our trust into? Mohamed Elneny. Elneny to the rescue. Jesus Christ.
Colonel Ward says, sell Arteta for what? To play football for 3 months. Let a manager build a team instead of sacking him every year. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Colonel, right? This team is underachieving. And Arteta's not getting the best out of these players. And that comes down to a lack of experience. There's no getting away from that. Because you look at some of the decisions he's made. If we had a more experienced manager, right, yeah, I would probably go, do you know what? Yeah, we could probably give him more time. Because an experienced manager would know what to do in this kind of situation. Don't forget, Arteta is a first-time manager. So he's not experienced pressure like this before. Whereas you look at Jose Mourinho, you look at Carlo Ancelotti, you look at other top managers, they've experienced going through negative stages in their career. You think Arteta has never experienced that, even under Man City, under Pep Guardiola. Guardiola was always he's a massive achiever, and listen, I know Man City are struggling at the moment, but Guardiola's experienced enough to know to try and sort stuff out. So you assume that Man City are going to come back at some point. You assume that because the experience that Guardiola has. But Arteta doesn't have any experience. He's not experienced this. And I'm sorry, Arsenal is too big a club to be letting a manager with no experience make these fuck-ups. Because I'll tell you something now, guys, we're slipping further and further down the table. And it's not acceptable. And I'm sick of people making excuses for Arteta. I'm sick of people going, oh, but it's the players, it's the players, it's the players. These players aren't good enough. Yeah, we know that. But how do you explain Willian's shit performance? When he was at Chelsea, Willian looked half decent. Now he's at Arsenal. He just looks like he's slotted in with all the rest of the crap that's already been here. How do you explain that? Aubameyang is a world-class striker and he's underperforming. And I'm sorry, it's you have to question Arteta. And I'm sorry, Arteta, however much you love him, however much you're going to go and have a fucking wank over him and probably shoot your load, he is not good enough for this football club. It's simple, it's plain, and that's the sad fact and reality of it. He is not good enough for this football club. And the quicker people wake up and realise that, and you know what it is, right, yeah? People will, instead of blaming Arteta, they'll blame other people, going, "Oh, how is Arteta supposed to succeed with people calling him out? How is Arteta supposed to succeed?" They're going to look to blame the Cronkies, and yeah, the Cronkies are to blame, right? Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Yeah, I'm not fussed that Edu wanted to bring in Partey. Because Partey, we've needed a guy like that for ages. And even everyone rates Partey. He's a quality player. If Edu makes signings like that, I kind of agree, listen, he brought in Martinelli. Martinelli's turned out to be a decent signing. Partey, listen, everybody knows what Partey can do. But Arteta should have insisted to the board, he should have said, listen, I want Aouar. I want Aouar as well. You need to give me this player. And okay, I get that transfers, sometimes it doesn't happen. I get that because, you know, not every transfer goes and happen. But you look at this, right? Yeah. You look at other clubs. If they want a player, they go and make it happen. If we want a player, we spend pissing around the whole summer. And then when they realize that, oh shit, the deadline's today, they go and stump up the money. Look, we should have had that Thomas Partey deal wrapped up at the beginning of the transfer window. We should have just gone and paid that release clause and had it wrapped up. But instead, Arsenal just fucked around for the whole entire summer. And then we went and got it at the last minute. And it's just this club is just so screwed. This club is just so fucking screwed, man. I don't know where we go from here. The North London derby, I tell you, I am dreading it. Dreading the North London derby because we are going to get absolutely battered. Absolutely battered. We'll probably go and win on Thursday against Rapid Vienna. You know, we'll probably go and probably win.
And then all the Arteta fanboys would be jizzing themselves right now. Bastards.
Yeah, all the Arteta fanboys will be going, oh, look, Arteta can win a game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am done with Arteta. I'm done with him. And people saying that, oh, you know, you've got to give him time. You've got to give him time, and saying, oh, you know, players will eventually come back into form. With that kind of attitude, we're not going to get nowhere as a club, because these players, unless they've got somebody, you know, with a big mentality that can give these players a massive kick up the fucking arse, which is what they need right now. They need a kick up the fucking jacksie. You know, these players are going to underperform. You know, it's just mad.
John.
It's just stupid. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, Arsenal Maniac made a very great point.
Exactly, Arsenal Maniac. He said, I think this result yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back. I've seen pro Arteta people finally wake up. Exactly. You know, and the thing is as well, if the board act now, we could possibly save our season. Because when you look at it, yes, I know our league form is still shit. When you look at it, right, yeah, our league form is probably the worst thing right now. But when you look at it, we're still in every competition. You know, we're still a couple of points. You know, we're probably 4 wins away from turning things around because the league is so open. If we can win 4 or 5 games on the trot, we'd be right back. We'd be right back in it because the league is so open. I know other teams above us have got game in hands and stuff, but I do genuinely think if you win 4 or 5 games on the bounce, and there's still enough of the season left to turn things around, but that's only going to happen if the board act now, which they're not. They're not. Everybody knows that. They're going to sit with their thumb up their arse going, no, we'll give him time. And they're probably not going to back him with finances neither. And I tell you what, the board and Arteta are so lucky that fans can't go. So lucky that fans can't go. Because I'll tell you something now, fans would boo. You know, they'd just get consistently booed. This is a top 5 squad. Exactly, Arsenal Maniac. I agree. So many expensive strikers. So many attacking players, strong firepower. Yeah, I agree. But we don't seem like Jonathan. I agree. Jonathan said that we're only 3 wins away from turning it around. But can you honestly say that we look like turning it around? Do you know what, right? Yeah, and this is how the best way to sum it up, right? Yeah, under Wenger, I know the performances were shit, but you'd always see glimmers of hope, wouldn't you, in games? Not the finished article, but you would see glimmers of hope. You would think, oh, okay, we're shit, but you know, we're still creating and maybe possibly taking chances. I don't see none of that with Arteta. We're not even, do you know what I mean? We're just creating less and less chances as the games go on. And I'll tell you something now, we can't afford to lose another game this season. We can't afford to lose another game this season because we are going to end up in the relegation zone. And it's just a sad fact and reality. And you know what? Everyone's looking at the Tottenham game. I'm worried about Burnley. I'm going to be honest. I'm worried about Burnley. I'm worried about Southampton. Jesus Christ. You see Southampton yesterday. You know, they almost did a number on United. And I think United are a little bit better than us at the moment. They've got a little bit better players. No, maybe we've got better players in terms of like Partey but they've got
no, Daniel, they have got way better players, Daniel. They have got Van de Beek, they have got Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, but come on, you look at the players we've got, right? You know, we've got Thomas Partey, you know, Aubameyang. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. Aubameyang is a quality player. And anybody that says Aubameyang's not a decent player come on, just look at the last couple of seasons.
But that's only 4 players, Daniel. 4 or 5 players that you can say from Arsenal. Yeah,
we've got Martinelli. I know he's injured right now. Not Xhaka. What's the Bukayo Saka? You look at Bukayo Saka. He's a decent player. You look at, you know, and I even say this. You look at Willian, and Willian is a decent player at Chelsea. I watched him when he played for Chelsea, and he is a quality player when given the right incentives and the right. And so he is a decent player.
Willian, if you say is a decent player, then you have to categorize Matic as well. And Manchester United is a decent player. We can't even put Willian into the decent category. There's only 5 players I can name.
No, but what I'm saying is Willian, he's not a world-class player, Willian, but he is a player who could, on any given day, he could do better. But the thing is, Kevin, do you know what Man United have got? And as bad as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably a shit manager. As bad as he is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whenever his job's on the line, he always pulls it out the bag, don't he? He always pulls a result out the bag.
Yeah. When everything goes around him, when everything comes collapsing, he comes in with a performance.
And as bad as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, he is better than Arteta because he's more experienced. Yeah. You can't argue with that fact. He's a shit manager. Don't get me wrong. I don't rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's more experienced than Arteta. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's lost his job at various different clubs, so he knows.
Yeah.
When he needs to kind of pull results out the bag. I'm not saying he's brilliant. He isn't. Listen, Man United. You know, I feel sorry for Man United because Arsenal and Man United are two of the biggest clubs in world football, and yet we're playing like this. It's just mad.
United and Arsenal practically it's not the manager's tactics, and it's not all and all manager's tactics that win games. Like I mentioned a few weeks ago, I did mention that Arsenal are literally not playing a tactical football at all. There's no tactical brilliance. There's no tactical masterclass. Everything is just down to the players. The players are just playing when they feel like it. So if they put in a performance like against Manchester United, that's not a tactical masterclass. I keep on seeing all the Arteta fangirls around keep on saying like that's Arteta's masterclass, masterclass, masterclass. A masterclass that can't even beat Leeds United. A masterclass that can't even beat can't even beat Villa, can't even beat Leicester. That's not masterclass. Everything is all comes down to individual brilliance. The semi-final and the final at Wembley, when we beat Manchester City and Chelsea, was it down to Arteta's masterclass? I don't think so. I don't think so. It was not down to Arteta's masterclass. If Aubameyang was not playing in that game, who else would have scored? Which potential goal scorers we have there? We don't even have any potential goal scorers. Do you think of, okay, maybe the penalty, yes. Okay, maybe one of the goals that was a penalty, okay, yes. Apart from that, we scored 4 goals en route to the final. That 3 goals. Aubameyang, okay, he dinked one against Willy Caballero as well. Do you think any other players at the Arsenal squad can do that? I don't think so. Do you really think like going runs behind the defense? No one else can do that. At Arsenal, no one else. Where's the press? Initially, we played out press from the front. We keep on press. We press. We give the high press. Where's that high press gone? Where's the intent of play? Where is it? Where is it all disappeared? Is that the process? What? We have a disappearing process of what? Absolute bollocks.
Big up, Guy New. He said a better manager would have this team around 6th place. And yeah, I can't argue with that, to be fair. You know, we're there or thereabouts, 6th, 5th, or 4th. We're probably, you know, maybe 5th or 6th more likely. But yeah, a better manager would have us in around, you know, around that position in the table. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Arteta makes Partey from an elite midfielder to a conference player. Just give it and just give it another 12 months. Players have regressed under him. Aubameyang, Gabriel, and that's it. It is. Yeah, and Tierney's a quality player, but he's just not looking great. Omar says it's embarrassing. It is. Let's have a look. Don't throw those things at me, Brownie, as well, because at the end of the day, you can't compare Arteta to George Graham or Alex Ferguson. That's just silly. Because both of them,
what the fuck?
Yeah, and when they came into Arsenal, they were more experienced. You know? They didn't fully trust him. That's why they only gave him Partey, not both, says Arsenal Maniac. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If I was Stan Kroenke, I wouldn't even trust him. Look what he's doing with the players he's got.
Tubbs ND, mate, that comment is legendary. He said, I said it before and I'll say it again. Even Gunnosaurus
regrets under Arteta.
Anish says, just see, guys, we're going to fuck up the Slopperslide thing in January. Yeah, mate, he's not going to come. And do you know the sad thing is, right, we stump up that money, we probably could get him because it's a release clause, right? He has a release clause of, I think, 22 million. And Arsenal are probably going to fuck around with their thumb up their ass. Fucking Edu's probably going to wank into a sock going, oh, don't worry, we've got loads of time, lads. You know, don't worry, we'll just wait and see what happens. We'll just see how things play out. And by then, we're probably going to be about 18th in the table. And it's going to be too fucking late. It's disgusting.
I tell you, Daniel, we will get the Slopperslide deal, provided if we concede and lose another 4 more games. When we lose another 4 games, the pressure is going to mount on Mikel Arteta. The pressure is going to mount on making massive transfers.
Colonel Ward, mate, do you know what? I completely disagree with you. He said it's a fact no manager gets the players they want we needed a player with a creative midfielder, not a defensive one, when we have 6 of them already. Yeah, but none of them are at Partey's level. Come on, let's be honest. None of them are at Partey's level. And then, we needed both. I agree. We needed Partey and we needed a creative midfielder. But saying that we didn't need Partey, come on, man, seriously. Open your eyes. I thought I was the fucking blind one on the stream, but even my eyes are more open. Do you know what I mean? Come on, man, seriously. Anybody saying that we didn't need Partey, wake up. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Have a look. What else we got here? Arteta is only good at talking, and that's what I said, right? He can talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk. Jonathan Porter says no one has time. Look at all the comments and after the watch along of Man United game. But see, the thing is, football is a results business. Football is a results business. And in this modern era of football, time is of the essence. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, time is of the essence. You can't, with the Premier League being the way it is, you can't afford to have time. It's not like the old days where it was only Arsenal and Man United competing for the top honours, when you could probably get away with being, there being a bit more time. You look at all the teams that are now. You got Tottenham, you got Everton, you got Leicester, you got Man City, you got Liverpool, you got who else have we got there? You got Chelsea. There's so many teams, and more and more teams are emerging as the seasons go on. Teams are emerging, so you can't. There isn't the time. You can't keep giving. You can't. The time is of the essence. Look at Celtic, right? Yeah, they've had Neil Lennon. He had 6 or 7 games, and they sacked him right out of a job. You know what I mean?
We are in a shambles, mate. We are in a shambles. I'm not really sure where we're going to go away from here, man. Who would be an ideal candidate, Daniel, to replace Arteta? And when should he be gone? Is it during the January? Will it be January or what?
You know what? I want Pochettino. I know a lot of people don't, but I want Pochettino. I think he would come in and do a job here. All the top, because listen, Pochettino is the only option that's out there. Because all the managers that I wanted, and this is the thing, right? I never wanted Arteta in the first place, but I still backed him. But the managers I wanted was Mourinho or Ancelotti. I wanted those guys. I wanted those guys, but they're sadly in a job, and we let them go. Just like in 2013, we let Klopp go, and now look how he's doing at Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying?
Personally, in my opinion, it would be like Poch should do a great job, because Poch can work in limited budgets. And that's one thing. I think that's where he has the upper hand among all the other managers. Because if you put into context like Carlo Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho, of course, Jose is doing a good job as well at Spurs as well. But he has looked at his squad. He knows the areas of weakness. He addressed it. He never spent a big fortune. We spent close about 100 million in getting 2 players. About 70 odd million in getting 2 players, Gabriel and Thomas Partey. Jose Mourinho spent 60 million on signing 5 different players. Regulon, they signed they signed, I think, who's Højbjerg as well. And then they also signed Bale on loan.
I got to read this out. Jonathan Porter says every manager is initially inexperienced. Look at Graham. Graham came from Millwall with little top flight experience, and Ferguson with the Scottish success. Do you know the difference is, and you've said it in your own comment there, Jonathan, is that they've come from other clubs with experience. It may not be top flight experience, but it's experience. And you know, look at Fergie. He was successful in Scotland, so you could say that that's still experience. So you kind of have answered your own question in your own comment.
Yeah.
There is no style of play. So how are these players supposed to perform on the pitch, says Taib.
There's no identity on the manager, so how is he going to manage in the first place?
Let's have a look here. Big up, Sofian. Hope you're well. Exactly, yeah. Smash the likes, guys. Would really appreciate it. Let's have a look. You can't sack a manager after 10 games. Give him the North London derby. If he loses, sack him.
We will lose. There's no doubt about it.
Exactly. We're going to lose. You know, it's stupid. Exactly. The FA Cup and Community Shield was papering over big cracks. Exactly, Omar. Exactly. Arsenal squad sounds better than what it... But see, the thing is, the squad is there. Good. The squad is good enough to get top 5 at least. Do you know what I mean?
Jonathan, I did mention that Tottenham could win the league, and half of our fan base keeps saying, like, how can you say like Spurs will win the league and stuff? There's a chance. There's a possibility there. They got a top class manager, Jose Mourinho. He's a winner. Everywhere he goes, he wins. That's why I'm scared. That's why I'm literally scared of Spurs this season. He's already thrashed United at Old Trafford, 6 goals, and we have not even scored more than 2 goals at Old Trafford. And he's just beaten Manchester City, and he knows that he cannot beat Chelsea. He literally did a tactical masterclass in containing Chelsea, but they were dominant against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge up until the first half. And then the second half, of course, the game was swinging in both sides. But that's the way I look at it. But Spurs are they are genuine contenders, I would say. Spurs are genuine contenders. It's down to them. It's like, is it going to be like it's happened again or something? I'm not really sure. But this Spurs side is under the guidance of Mourinho. So I expect a totally different outcome.
So Arsenal Maniac says it here, right? Yeah. Even under Wenger's worst ever season, he got double the points. So did Emery, which everyone berated. This is a new low. Sophie Ann says we're not going to end up in the relegation zone. It's not that bad. We're not far off it. We're not far off it, mate. And why can't we? Everybody says, right, that, you know, like Arsenal have a right to win trophy. Yeah, we do. We have a right to win trophies. Every club has a right to win trophies. But see, the thing is, why not? Just because we're Arsenal, we're not immune from the relegation zone. And people need to wake up and realise that we are not immune. If we carry on going the way we are, we could so end up in the relegation zone. What? Because we're Arsenal Football Club. Fans think we're immune from that. No, we ain't. Any club is. Any club can go into the relegation zone. We're not immune just because we're Arsenal Football Club. I don't want us to, and you know, but we're not immune from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Smash
Grant.
the likes,
Exactly,
guys.
Grant. He knew, he made the tactical substitute. Even Emery selects his first 11 wrong. In the second half, he will make the changes. You'll notice Emery does halftime substitute a lot. And I really love that. That's what was lacking under Wenger, and Mikel Arteta starting the trend again.
So Sophie Ann says we'll beat Burnley, Everton, and Southampton, and that's it.
Screw it.
I don't think we'll beat Everton. And I'm not even sure we'll beat the other two, mate. If we can't, and somebody said it earlier in the comments way back, and I missed it out. Right, said that we have to remember that Wolves are a good team. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying that Arsenal have the God-given right to beat everybody in the Premier League. But what I am saying, and what I expect to see, even if we lose, right, and this is the thing, right, I don't ever expect to win every game in the Premier League. I don't ever expect that, you know, I don't expect that. And I expect us to lose some games. But what I don't expect and what I don't want to see is us do these limp dick performances week in, week out. What I don't expect and what I don't want to see is us repeat the same shit week in, week out. If we lose, I want us to lose because we've, you know, given 100%. And that's the thing. If we'd had lost the game yesterday and gave 100%, you could look on it and go, Jesus Christ, we lost the game. Yeah, but we were unfortunate. And Arsenal fans would accept that, and I would accept that, because we lost. You know, listen, it's part and parcel of football. You lose, but to lose in the manner that we did, when it's not the first time we lost under Aston Villa, you know, in the same manner. We drew to Leeds, and by rights, and I say this again, we should have lost that 2 or 3-0. But because we didn't, because we got a point, everyone's like, oh, but we got a good point up at Ellen Road. No, we didn't. By rights, we should have lost that fucking game. Wake up and see that. We should have got absolutely fucking battered. But we were lucky. Leno and the woodwork saved us. And you know, that's what I'm saying. I can take losing because it's part and parcel. If you lose, you know, at the end of the day, if you lose, you know, and you've given 100%, that's just unfortunate. It happens. But we've not given 100% for a long, long time. And that's the problem. These players aren't giving 100%, which is the fucking problem. This manager is not giving 100%, which is the fucking problem. He's making inexperienced decisions because he doesn't have any experience. Keeps making the same mistakes over and over again because he's inexperienced. He keeps playing players that are out of form, dropping players that are in form, not giving players a chance who fully deserve a chance. And that is the problem. And I'm sorry, this manager, Arteta, is not good enough. Not good enough by a long chalk. And anybody trying to defend him, trying to make excuses for him, wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and realise what the fuck is actually going on here. Because with the squad we have, and yes, we know that majority of this squad is absolute bollocks. We know that a majority of this squad is probably going to leave in the summer. We know that. But having said all of that, we should be doing a lot better than what we are doing. We should be at least higher in that table than what we are. And we're not. And that comes down to the manager. And I'm sorry, but it does. It really does. So let's have a look. Anish says we will lose 7 more games this season. Yeah, smash the likes, guys. Smash. We've got a terrible squad other than Aubameyang, Partey, Saka and Martinelli. Our squad isn't great. Got Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's decent. We've got who else we got? We got Nelson. He could probably do better. Balogun deserves a chance. Saliba deserves a chance. Can't really say that they're brilliant because we've not seen them. So there's young players that could come in. You know what I mean, Kevin? Right? It's just mad.
Yeah.
It's just mad. It's just totally mad. Aubameyang is just disinterested. I said it. Aubameyang's disinterested. Right, let me try and scroll down because I'm way behind in these comments. Bear with me, guys, because there's lots of comments. Partey didn't leave Atletico Madrid to win trophies. He left Atletico Madrid to play in a different league, says Tyrone. I don't believe I blame the board, says Arsenal Maniac. They don't care about Arsenal's history or reputation on the pitch. They just care about selling merchant tickets to the fans. How much merchant tickets they can sell to ignorant fans. Yeah, and that's it. And people are just buying into this crap. Sachin MS said Simeone was a legend at Atletico Madrid. Exactly. A top owner / board will never have brought in an inexperienced manager to manage a club like Arsenal. Exactly. Big up Richard Flag. Yeah, exactly. We are standing still while others are regressing. While others are progressing, sorry. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. I would take Pochettino. Kevin, I'm going to ask you the same question. Who would you get in? Who would you get in?
Actually, my ideal manager was actually Jose Mourinho. And then my second choice was actually Poch. And the third was actually Brendan Rodgers. Of course, now since Jose Mourinho is down at that lot, so I'm probably going to go with Poch right now because Poch, I think he can work with minimal resources. And of course, if he can bring an average Tottenham side all the way to the Champions League final, and they keep saying like he has never won a trophy, yes, of course, do you want Spurs to win a trophy then? Because I don't like Spurs winning any trophies. So I'd rather him to come and join us, win. Imagine and see, we get a Spurs ex-manager and he gets his first trophy win at Arsenal. That would be the best feeling you can have, That's like literally equal to like us taking Sol Campbell. that's like literally that feeling. That feeling can never beat anything. So I would love to have Pochettino. I would love him to win the trophy at Arsenal to rub it on those cows. I mean, to the cunts down there, man.
It's just mad. And
You're
that's the
going
thing.
Poch as well, right?
Yeah. Arsenal Maniac said it here. Pochettino achieved much more with Tottenham with far less than than what say like Arteta's had, and he did. He has. He's achieving more. You know, he's achieving less. It's just mad. It's just mad. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to try and dig into a few more comments. So bear with me 1 second while I dig into a few more comments. Remember, guys, smash the like button. I would really appreciate that. Don't forget, I'll be doing a watch along of Bayern Munich versus Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Munich. I'll be doing a watch along for that game, and then the preview for the Europa League game will be out on Wednesday, and then obviously the watch along for the Europa League game, and then the preview and review. The preview for the North London derby and the review for the Europa League game will be out on Friday. And then obviously the Chelsea Leeds watch along will be on Saturday, and then the North London derby watch along will be on Sunday. And we probably are going to get battered. Actually, not probably. We are going to get battered. So yeah, guys, like I say, I'm 10 subs away. I'm 10 subs away from 1,300. So let's at least push the channel up. Also, as well, guys, on Wednesday morning before the preview on this channel, I'm going to be appearing on Claude's channel as well. So yeah, do hop over there and check it out. Salzburg manager would be decent, says Tyra. I would take Rafa though. Anish, Rafa says Grant. Obviously, he's replying to Grant. He said Rafa would have a fallout with the board, the first transfer window, and then it'll be Emery 2.0. I would take Rafa though. To be fair,
he only deals with facts.
Marco Rios. Marco Rosa Munch and Gladbach would be brilliant at Arsenal, says Tubbs ND. And he says, when is the show with Claude? So I need to get in touch with Claude. So I'm going on his channel on Wednesday. And then our show on here, which is going to be a regular show, I need to sit down and pin down a time with Claude when to do that. So I haven't pinned down a time yet with Claude, but I'll let you guys know. Don't worry, I'll let you guys know, absolutely. Joachim Low is going to get sacked from Germany. Would you take him?
No, thanks.
Really?
You want to go for Joachim Low? How low can we get? No way. We are already low. I don't want to get any more lower.
Jesus Christ, Kevin. Oh, that's mad. And he says, "Get Kevin Campbell and Claude." Yeah, next time I get Kevin Campbell, next time I get Kevin Campbell on, I'll see if I can get Claude to come on as well. So
Anish is doing this on purpose.
Yeah, I'll try and get them on. Yeah, I'll try and get him on. Don't even mention Low when I'm around. Tyrone said, if Arsenal want a young manager, get the Leipzig manager. So yeah, guys, smash the like button. I don't even know how many likes are on.
Somebody update us on the like status, please. Calling all guys in the chat.
Somebody update us. Update us, guys.
Yeah. Okay, that's 31 likes, Daniel.
31 likes. Yeah, that's insane. So yeah, that's brilliant. Do subscribe if you're new as well. Would really appreciate that. If I turned
32 Kev's now.
Kev's a legend. Do you know what I mean? Kev's a legend. But
he keeps shouting his points. He keeps shouting.
Granny Norma's advent calendar's on sale. What? $2.99, 50p. 50p goes towards help the aged.
Come on, Simpy. You need some of Granny Norma. Simpy is an individual legend.
Yeah. Yeah, both Kev's a legend. No, he's all right. He's all right. I take it Tubbs is not a fan. Tubbs is not a fan of Arteta. Jesus Christ, no one's a fan of Arteta.
I don't know.
Actually saying that. Yeah. Yeah, no one's a fan of Arteta. It's just mad. But you guys have been absolutely insane today.
Ooh, I love that Tubbs MD.
Oh, look, I just got a message saying Arteta's been sacked. No, I wish. No, only joking. But yeah, Jesus Christ. We can live in hope, can't we? Yo. Let's have a look. So let's have a look. But yeah, guys, so yeah, listen, it's just been absolutely insane today. There's been loads and loads of people watching. So yeah, Kevin, I want to ask you before we wrap up, where do you think we go from here?
If things stay the same, I don't think so. It's only going to get worse, Daniel. It's only going to get worse if things stays the same. Because I feel the board is not going to react that much, because you have seen it with Unai Emery's sacking as well. They dwelled too long on it until it was getting toxic, and then only they sacked him. So I think it's going to be the same. I think the Arteta fangirls are probably going to jizz over him again, and probably it's going to get a longer stay until the situation gets toxic. And of course, right now the fans would be returning back. So hopefully he leaves in under mutual consent or something. But I don't think so. He's just going to leave it like that, unless the board take a drastic measure. But I'm hoping if we can get like a proper manager, like the likes of Poch that I mentioned in January, at least to stabilize the ship, so that at least we can finish probably in the top half of the table, around the 8th or 7th or somewhere around there, and then give a proper challenge for the top 4 the next season. So that's the only way I can see it. Because if we are going to dwell too long on Mikel Arteta, things only will get worse, Daniel. But I think the ideal candidate to replace Arteta right now is probably Poch. He works in the same mold as Wenger, but he's not a Wenger-esque type of manager. He's much more ruthless, because I've seen how he manages and how he handles players in Spurs is quite good as well. So I think he can bring a massive change, and most youngsters would get probably a lot of chance under Pochettino as well. So that's my ideal candidate, but hopefully he can come in on January. But Arteta has to leave, Daniel. As much as I don't really back this guy, I'm not really having a personal grudge on him, but he has to leave for the benefit and for the good of his reputation. Let him win. He has won the FA Cup, so let him go on a high right now. Okay, so he's doing kind of bad. He has lost about 5 games. Okay, just leave it as it is. Just leave. Just take your highs of your life winning the FA Cup and just leave. Just leave. Don't make it any worse. Don't lose your reputation right now. So I just want him to just walk off, just walk away.
And Frankie says, have Arsenal released a statement on their position and Arteta's position as manager? No, they've not released any statement yet, and they're probably not going to. And he says, congrats on 300 plus views for the watch along yesterday. Your channel's progressing, unlike Arsenal. That's a great comment. That's a great comment. What else have we got? Let's have it.
Oh, I watched the video, Anish. I watched that. They were literally going after Ecclestone yesterday. Oh man, I watched the video. It was seriously funny. But I have to check the recent one with Lee Churches. I think I'll have to check that as well. Or are you talking about that previous stream?
Tyrone says Arteta said that Partey's going to miss the North London derby. Yeah, he is. He's going to miss. He is going to miss the North London derby. And it's just total mad. Yeah, it's just proper mad. It's just utter mad. It is just it's just mad, Kevin. It's mad. Yeah. And like you, I agree, Kevin. You know, I agree with you that actually, you know, he needs to go now for the good of the you know, the club, and for the you know, like you said, his reputation. Not that he's got much reputation, but you know, he does need to go. You know, he absolutely needs to go. And it's just mad. It's just I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But yeah, listen, we've been nearly going for 1 hour 40 minutes. So this is like the longest review we've ever done. But I said it'd be a lively one. And it has been a lively one. It's been absolutely fantastic.
We have Mertesacker, Anish. Mertesacker would come into the fold.
Yeah. If Arsenal got rid of Arteta, they were probably hiring Mertesacker, and then it would be he wouldn't give him any staff. Do you remember he did the exact same thing?
With Lundberg, yeah.
Remember he did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, do subscribe if you're new. Do smash the like button, and listen, it's gonna get better, isn't it? It's got to get better. You know, it's got to get better. But whether it gets better under Arteta, who knows? It's just an absolute mystery. It is.
Tubs empty. Look forward for that, man. You must look forward for that. That would go on for hours. I think it would pass about 2 hours or 3 hours plus easily. Tubs empty. So just keep a lookout on that. No, he said like the review after the derby is going to be longer. I can bet that it would be longer. It will be longer.
Yes, yeah, it is. And Tubbs ND, you're a Bayern fan, aren't you? So don't forget, I'll be doing a Bayern watch along tomorrow. I'll be doing the whatchamacallit. I'll be doing the Atletico Bayern game. So yeah, Kevin, do you just want to let people know where they can find you before we wrap the show up?
Yeah, sure thing. All right. First and foremost, thanks, Daniel, for having me on today again for this review again. Of course, another disappointing result, and Arsenal never failed to disappoint us. 3 defeats on the bounce at home, so couldn't get any worse, can't it? Of course, looking forward, not really looking forward for the North London derby this weekend, but big up all you guys in the chat. And yeah, Daniel, just kind of depressed with this Arsenal stuff. I'm just trying to move on with life. There's life after Arsenal though, so we'll just have to move on with life right now. There's as much as we can do as fans, but we can't literally just lose our sleep or lose our life in regards of this. So just keep it moving, Daniel. Just keep it moving with life as well. So big up all you guys in the chat. And let's hope that Arsenal can do something and probably Arteta just walks out of the stadium. And thanks for having me on, Daniel, once again. Of course, you guys can find me in KevinMark434 on Twitter. That's the only platform I got, and I'd probably be in Daniel and Simply Stream most of the time.
Yeah. So guys, do go check out Kevin on Twitter. And like I said, guys, I'll be back tomorrow evening with a watch along for the Atletico Bayern game, and then I'll be on Claude's channel on Wednesday morning. I'm not sure what time that is, so do stay tuned on Claude's channel to check me out over there. And then I'll be jumping straight over here with Kevin for a preview of the Europa League game.
Vienna versus Arsenal. Yep.
Yeah, and then I'll be doing. I don't think I'll be doing any watch-alongs on Wednesday. I think I'll be just chilling out on Wednesday evening. But then on Thursday, I'll be doing the watch-along for the Arsenal game with myself and Simpy. We'll be doing that. And then I'll be doing the review for that game with Kevin on Friday. Same time, 1:30, because that's a pretty decent time that people enjoy. And then I'll be doing a preview for the North London derby. I'm not entirely sure. I might combine the preview and the review as one single show so we can jump straight in and cover both. But I haven't fully decided yet. And then I'll be doing Chelsea Leeds. Me and Simpy are going to be doing the Chelsea Leeds game on Saturday. And then obviously ending with the big finale, the North London derby. It's going to be mad. Not confident at all, but yeah, listen, we'll cover that in more in depth later on in the week. And yeah, guys, so that's the plan of action for the channel this week. So yeah, do keep liking, do keep subscribing, do check out all my other platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. All of the information is running across the bottom of your screens. Big up every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Just guys.